Transcendence, so we're finally getting around to doing it. I could have done it earlier by using someone's account, but I wanted to do it for myself because I knew I was going to max Transcender. Today, we have a max Transcended YACHIRU Unohana showcase. If you haven't already seen it, we got super lucky on both of my accounts, where I was able to get 3 copies of her in just 7 steps. The luck was insane, and that has now allowed me to get her max Transcended. So you can see here, level 10 across the boards on all of her stats, and then we do have the additional 500 SP. Didn't even take that much reroll, unfortunately. Now we've already broken her down. She's already an insane character. Matter of fact, her max Transcendence rarely even changed anything about the character. She was already one-shotting to begin with. And quite frankly, the only reason why I wanted a max Transcender was for Gilquests content. And that is only to save me like maybe 2 extra seconds. So you'll see, at least with this particular character, but there are more out there, is that you don't need her duped out. Sure, it's great to have, and if you like playing with this character, it maybe you want to have a max Transcended. But 1 out of 5, especially 2 out of 5, is perfectly fine. And the extra dupes of this character really only made a difference, mainly in Gilquest content, because that's where you're competing with other players that are most likely also using YACHIRU Unohana max Transcended. Either way though, let's jump into some content and try this absolute beast of a character out. So first up, let's take it into Inheritance Trials. In this case, we're not going to waste your time taking it into single player content, because she already one-shot at 1 out of 5. At max Transcendence, this is where it more so matters, and this is the best way to demonstrate it, right? So in this case, unfortunately, I do not own a T-set, so we're going with these 3 accessories. And then when it comes to the links, we have a mixture of recharge and full stamina, and recharge and also strong attack damage. When it comes to bonus abilities, she has full stamina and of course also weakened defense. And personally, I love showcasing this character in co-op content because this is where you get to like get the max damage output with that extra 100% the more enemies you do kill, right? Thus far, though, we went through that stage super quick. Strong attacks, despite us not having killer here, are absolutely decimating these enemies. And we are having no problem whatsoever keeping that SP boost active, even though we don't have an increased chance to do so. So I need to pay attention to the top left. What damage increase are we on right now? I actually have no idea. I'm sure we're approaching the 100%, if not already hitting it. So let's use our SA3 there, one-shotting the boss. You'd love to see it. And look at that. Uryu goes down too. We didn't even have time to even look at the bosses. That's so funny. In this case, let's actually use our Soul Bomb here. Take out those mobs, because this room in particular is quite small where the enemies do spawn in. So maybe our SA3 can actually do some good damage here and attack both enemies. Kind of, you see there. And look at that. They walked straight into it and they got weakened. So that meant we actually able to like, basically... We were already able to one-shot to begin with, but because they did walk into it, they got weakened. That was a good positioning of the SA3, right? With the trap effects. And that just allows us to do even more damage. So I think maybe nuking in that stage beforehand is the go-to. But look at that. In our very first attempt, I've been doing a few runs in Inheritance Trials, so I do know the positioning. But that wasn't a perfect run. But we were able to get a 1-minute clear time. No problem whatsoever. At no point were we ever really struggling in terms of getting hit. And that's saying something because we're going against the human enemies. But let's see if we possibly can try and go for a sub 1 minute. That's without killer too. Imagine we had killer. Easily a potential 50-second run. Alright then, here we go. Attempt number 2. Let's use our SA2 straight away. Already inflated the stat as you love to see it. Let's go ahead and use our SA3. Unfortunately, did get hit there, and that meant we lost a bit of DPS. But we're lucky for us, we are going to heal next room. And by the next room, we should be back up at full stamina. So this run's already a bit dead, dare I say. Since we lost a bit of full stamina, we have to do a couple extra attacks. But let's just keep it in anyway, right? Let's just try it again after this particular run. Because I guess this can be an example of a run that was kind of bad to a certain extent, right? We took the damage. So let's use our SA2 there. Bosses are about to come up. Let's use our SA1. Even without full stamina, we're still able to almost one-shot, which is super funny. Yeah, look at that. Already went down. Okay. Okay, we'll take it. Let's go ahead and use our SA1. Did not position myself quite well here. Let's see if we use our SA1 here. And then SA3. Look at that. Straight into the bosses. Not a problem whatsoever. And at this point, now we can just basically solo nuke this entire stage with just 1 Soul Bomb. Absolutely beautiful. Love this character. Love this character. And having that max Transcendence just makes it a lot more fun, essentially, right? It's again, not needed. Not needed. At least when it came to the holo IT, granted, the rooms were a bit different. These rooms are a lot more linear, so that SA1 gets a big benefit here. But we essentially cleared like 30 seconds slower when compared to a 1 out of 5 YACHIRU. And a sub 2 minute when you don't have kill him is perfectly fine. But I like speedrun content, so having someone like YACHIRU max Transcended just makes the runs a lot more fun. Alright then, so for our third and final attempt, let's see if this time we can actually get the sub 1 minute. Let's use our SA3 there, and then SA1 should go into the next wave like that. This one M is left alive, but luckily, we actually did weaken. Now, when it comes to our max damage output, you can already see 180%. So it looks like just from the first room of enemies, you can already get most of the kills that you need, right? Let's go here. Let's use our SA3 on these lot. Beautiful. Probably didn't need to do that, but it's fine. because SA2 does absolutely wipe up those enemies. And I believe this goes, yeah, look at that. Wow, we actually nuked those 2 waves and did damage to those 2 bosses. That is really, really cool to see. Let's use SA3 here. Maybe didn't need to, but let me Soul Bomb. Then use SA1. Unfortunately, we did take a few hits there. That could have been a perfect run, and I might have ruined it just there. Can we get back to full stamina? Yes, we can. Okay. But unfortunately, I've lost my SA3. I did not need to use that in my last room, I'll be honest. SA3 now. There we go. SA1. One-shot them. Okay. And then they go down. All right. Was that faster? It definitely could have been a sub 1, but I think I kind of messed up there using my SA3 when I didn't need to in the previous room. Is it faster? It's exactly 101, just the same time. That could have been it. That really could have been it. Unfortunately, we had to wait like an extra 5-6 seconds for that SA3 to come back. But either way, the main thing to take away from this, as long as I don't get hit, which to be fair, with this character isn't too hard, it's an easy, very consistent 1 minute clear time. In a perfect run, sub 1 minute. And that's only by yourself, by the way. Ideally, in co-op, you want to have 3 other players with you, so the runs get faster when you have other players with you too doing damage at the same time. Next up, we're going into epic rates, where currently she is a bonus, keep that in mind, but realistically it doesn't matter. And to be fair, she also does have killer, damn. Okay, either way, this is the book that we are rocking with her now. We have 3 Toast repairs, giving us 60% full stamina and also 60% more strong attack damage. We have a Tenjitai, fortification pill, and also Lieutenant's badge. And then we have a mixture of damage inflicted at full stamina, strong attack damage, and also recharge. One thing to remember with Yachi though is that the SA3 does not work in this mode, so that's kind of unfortunate, but it shouldn't really matter, because at SA1, all the strong attacks is enough to take out the boss. If we use our Soul Bomb there, look at that. Is that 3 mil on a hit and 1 strong attack? 1 strong attack when we inflict the SP boost thanks to the Soul Bomb was enough to take out that final phase. I think at that point we were doing like 3 million a hit. Absolutely insane. Easy, very easy sub 10 second play time. 15 million damage in just 7 seconds. But the question is, can we get faster? Potentially. Let's use our SA1 first instead. There we go. We got the SP boost. Look at that. Let's use our SA3 now. Wow. If only we could have went through that entire stage. Ah, that was so close. If I had the SP boost, we could have done it. Both times there, we were a sliver amount of HP away from getting to the next phase. A 9-second run there. Slower, still consistent, very easy, consistent sub 10 seconds. But that could have been maybe a sub 5. All right, then. Let's try that once more. Can we potentially get faster than 7 seconds? Let's find out. Look at that. Look at that. SA3. It went in. It went in. Soul Bomb. Look at that. 5-second run. We'll take it. It might be 6. It might be 6, but that was almost a perfect run. If only we could have finished up that first phase with just 1 strong attack, that would have been absolutely insane. But nonetheless, that run was insane. Is it a 5-second? It was 6. Okay, we'll still take it though. It was faster. That's still really impressive, to be fair. And we are kind of held back to a certain extent by the fact that we kind of have to wait just a short amount of time for the boss to go into the next phase. With that said though, now let's take it into Gilquests content. Now the team that you are seeing is very similar to the team that we showcased a couple of days ago when we tried out 1 out of 5. And when she was 1 out of 5, we were able to get a very easy 5-second run. Obviously though, now that we have a max transcended, we're capable of getting a very easy sub 1 second playtime. Unfortunately, throughout all the runs that I did do, I was not able to nuke all 5 waves, a clean nuke. I unfortunately did have to use my Soul Bomb into a strong attack 3, but with the way this character's set up, her damage output on the strong attacks are even higher than the Soul Bomb, and that still allowed me to clear the final boss with just 1 attack. And it's due to those reasons I was still able to get a very easy sub 1 second play time. But to be honest, that's all I wanted when it came to a new character to name the Captain Killer Gilquests. Sure, she's not the traditional nuker. She can and is capable of nuking all 5 waves, but that ultimately comes down to your sides, how good they are. As of right now, she doesn't have really good partners to pair with, at least in the likes of the other types of Gilquests. And had I maybe invested more into Renji if he was max transcended, that might have been the push for me to get into the 5th wave and clean nuke, but we did get close. At the same time, remember, no TSAC. That might also make a difference, I'm not too sure. But in this case, at least with my particular team, I was able to get a very easy sub 1 second clear time. So for me, it was worth the investment. Before, I would get maybe 10 seconds if I was lucky. I had to do a couple resets. With Retsu, it's go in, Soul Bomb, strong attack, done in 1 second in my very first attempt. So for me, it was worth the investment. And with that said, lads, that was the video for today, showcasing a brand new max transcended YACHIRU Unohana. I mean, we already know she's amazing, but at max transcendence, it's even better. Right now, this is my go-to speed team, and it's kind of crazy to think that I have all of these 3 max transcendeds. She's definitely my go-to character for a large portion of the game. And the great thing, which we've already showcased plenty of times now, is that she's great in every way. Gilquests, Epic Raids, Arena, IT, IZ, Senkamon, and of course also Limit Breaker. Either way though, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.